wanting to be accepted with the crowd. And so I try to teach people that I meet, or teens, or either young adults, that you don't have to fit in with everybody else doing. Like you could be that person to show others that it's another way to do things. You don't always have to be what society think or expect you to be, you know? And so I try to show people that fitting in is not always the best policy or best way to go about things. And so I would really say fitting in and wanting to be loved or wanting to be liked by people.
Malik's First Job Podcast, here to answer any questions that y'all ask. Financial literacy and resources, parents and young people becoming bosses, CEOs, future leaders, entrepreneurs, conferences and boardrooms getting sponsors secured. If you want generational wealth, Brooklyn's own Kerwin Phillip with information to help. Malik's First Job Podcast, Malik's Podcast, Brooklyn's own Kerwin Phillip, Kerwin Phillip. Malik's First Job Podcast, Brooklyn's own Kerwin Phillip. Generational wealth.
All right, greetings everyone. How you doing? This is Kerwin Phillip here with another episode of the Malik's First Job Podcast, where we speak about leadership, entrepreneurship, and financial literacy. Today, I have a phenomenal guest. It's a great young lady from the Richmond, Virginia area. Her name is Kenya Sarai. She's an entrepreneur, musician, public speaker, and she wears so many different hats. So let me go ahead and introduce, again, this phenomenal young lady, Miss Kenya Sarai. How you doing today?
I'm doing good, and you?
I'm good.
That's
So
good.
for my audience, for the people out here who are not familiar with who Kenya Sarai is, please introduce yourself and let them know who you are and all the great things that you do.
Hello, my name is Kenya Sarai. I'm a 16-year-old business owner, motivational speaker, and drummer. And so I started everything at a very young age besides the business part. And so I'm just honored to be here, and let's just share.
Okay, great. So again, before we even move forward, I just want to say thank you for your support of my book, Malik's First Job: Financial Principles for Teens. I know for several months you were online on your platform, sharing the book, sharing different excerpts from the book. And again, just want to say thank you for your support.
Thank you. Yes.
Right. So what would you say is like one of the biggest lessons that you learned from the book?
Everything, because, the favorite part of it was pay yourself first, because you have to pay yourself first when you have a business, because usually we're so used to pouring in, and we don't have anything left for us. And so you have to know how to invest that money and also take 10% and keep it to yourself, but not always just spend it on depreciated items. You have to spend it for good reasons, for your products and things to pour back into the business. So that's what I really impacted me throughout the book. And yeah.
Okay, great. So how do you find yourself applying that, personally for yourself today?
Oh, I apply. I take that 10% almost every time the money hit. I take the 10% and I apply it to maybe buying more products, more shirts, more hats, different things like that to get it back booming and things like that. Yeah.
Okay.
hmm
So let's talk about your business, right?
Yes.
Sarai Works LLC. So tell us more about that. What's the mission of the business and
Okay.
everything surrounding it?
So the business was founded back in 2022. So my mother and I, we came up with the idea of wanting to bridge the gap between youth and adults. And so by doing that, we wanted to make an impact. And so the goal of it all is just to make an impact and just show teens and adults that you can do it no matter your age, and no matter what background you come from, and no matter your ethnicity or where you live, and different things like that. And so we just want to grow and just show people that you can do it no matter where you live or anything of that nature. And yeah. Mhm.
Okay. So I guess it's really motivational,
Yes,
right? Trying to
motivational.
inspire, right?
Inspire,
And,
yes.
and I think you have some of your apparel on right now. Is that correct?
Yes, the impact, and I also have my newly dropped hats, the impact, and yeah.
All right. So tell us,
Yeah.
what exactly is the impact?
The impact is something you want to be and see every day. Being the impact is knowing who you're communicating with and knowing how you are communicating, because you can communicate to somebody in a negative way or a positive way. And with the impact, you want to impact somebody by being that force or that effectiveness to change their life, their life or spark that idea in them or that potential that they may have and just build it up, make it stronger so they can believe in themselves. And that's what we do. Find
Okay,
that
great.
potential. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So do you find yourself, I guess with your friends that that's within your circle, are you like the inspiration to kind of help them, push
Yes.
forward?
Yes, they come to me about all the problems, relationships, business, everything. So yes, I'm that person.
You that
Yeah.
person?
Yeah.
Okay. And how do they receive you as you come, spreading this positive message?
Well, sometimes it can be tricky and a little iffy because I'm still young. So they're like, "You don't really know anything." I'm like, "Yes, I do." So at times it can be a little iffy, but you have to really understand and accept the reality of everything. But other than that, many times they do accept me, but at times it's kind of a little rocky because they don't really know or think I know what I'm talking about, but I do. But so it can be a little rocky. But
Okay, understand,
yeah,
understand. So now also understand that I guess you do a lot of speaking, right?
yes,
You lead discussions like surrounding like teens are talking,
yeah,
and youth issues. So I know right now parents are trying to find ways to connect with young people and
yes.
hear their voice and hear their issues. What are like some of the biggest issues that teens are facing nowadays?
That's a good question. Some of the issues that teens are facing nowadays, I would say fitting in, wanting to be accepted with the crowd. And so I try to teach people that I meet or teens or either young adults that you don't have to fit in with everybody else doing. Like you could be that person to show others that it's another way to do things. You don't always have to be what society think or expect you to be. And so I try to show people that fitting in is not always the best policy or best way to go about things. And so I would really say fitting in and wanting to be loved or wanting to be liked by people.
Wow, wow,
Yeah.
wow. So is it like would that be like an element of like peer pressure, or just
Yes.
just that acceptance factor?
It's I would say peer pressure because if your friends doing bad things and it can rub off on you sometimes. But if you have good people like me or other influencers to show you that you don't always have to be negative or do bad things of the world, maybe rap, like maybe like being a doctor or being um a lawyer, different things like that. Like it's always a route to go, and it's not always something negative. So we're trying to change that narrative.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah,
So we got the peer pressure, that wanting to be accepted.
yeah.
Um, what other elements are the kids facing? Like, are they dealing with?
I would say also wanting to be loved, like I said, because many times we have people that say, "Oh, they're bad," or they're not really good kids, but everybody that society thinks is bad, they just need love or that guidance and that nurturing to show them a new route and a new way. And so I would say fitting in and just wanting to be loved, I would say, are the two huge factors that are going on. That's why it's so much killing because everybody wants to get that attention. Attention is
Okay,
at its all-time high. So yeah.
right. And what role do you think, I guess, like social media plays, in that particular issue?
It's a huge role because everybody wants to be that it factor. Everybody wants to go viral. And so they'll do and say anything to get that like or that comment from anybody that's huge or that's well known. So I would say social media is a huge factor in today's issues. But it's also, how you use it for the good purposes or the bad purposes of it. So it's not always negative, but it's always how you use something. That's what I'll say the problem is.
Okay, okay. So what things can like parents do to try to, you know, be a solution to or try to support their teens as they're trying to get that support and that attention?
I would say show your kids that they can be what they want to be. Don't limit your kids or don't make them feel as though that they're less than anybody else. And just showing them the right and proper way to lead or you know uh how to be a good person from the inside and out, not always just wanting to be around the crowd. Like teach them the importance of being their own individual person, I would say. Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
And so I know you have an event coming
Yeah.
up, right? So
Yeah.
to tell us about that, I guess it's a back to school event, I believe.
Yeah, it's the Radio One Prep for Success. I think yeah giveaway. It's a school giveaway for surrounding areas who are in need of school supplies, and so I just can't wait to be a part of this wonderful panel with amazing teens who will be speaking as well. And so we're just trying to show teens and adults there's a different way to do things. And yeah.
Okay. Do you know who else will be
Mhm.
on that panel with you that day?
Christian from Cookies and Crust. We have Elijah. We have Kinaya and some other speakers.
Oh
I
wow.
think yeah. Some
Wow,
good
wow.
speakers. Yeah.
You got some powerful folks. So that's like
Yeah.
the
Powerful.
young Avengers of Richmond, Virginia.
Yes,
You know.
yes, yes, we do. We have them.
Yeah, yeah. 'Cause I know we've had Elijah on the
Okay.
podcast before. We had Christian on the
hmm
podcast, and yourself. You all are doing some phenomenal things. In the
Thank you.
area. This past year, I know you participated in the Richmond Children's Business Fair, where you
Yeah.
had your table set up with your products. Then you also sat on the panel there as well and
Yeah.
shared your thoughts on like entrepreneurship. So, why do you think there's like such a surge or such a movement now amongst like youth entrepreneurs and youth entrepreneurship?
What do you mean? Far as what? Why do you think that?
Like you see, like there's a lot of kids nowadays that want to be entrepreneurs.
Right.
Why is that?
Maybe because like us, like we're doing things to actually grow the community. So maybe seeing other teams do it and it could inspire you to do it as well. And also many times people coming in for the money, which is the down part, because if you do come into something for the money, many times out of 10 it doesn't go far. And so you have to really understand your why on why you want to do something, not just for the money purposes, but for who are you affecting, who is being changed by what you're doing. So you have to really be mindful of why you're coming to this business. So
Okay,
yeah.
okay, great, great.
hmm
Now I do also understand you're a musician, right?
Yes, I am a drummer.
Right.
Yes.
So tell us about that.
So I started playing drums at the age of 3. I used to beat on the wall, chip paint, all of that. So each year I would get a set of drum sets each year at Christmas. And by the time I turned 8, I got a mature set called Tama Drums, which is one of the biggest names in the drum community. And I was so ecstatic and happy to have it. I was like, "Mom, for real?" She was like, "Yes, girl, you deserve it." And so I was self-taught for a while, but I had drum lessons by BGA, which is um uh uh a huge like company to help growing musicians, and I'm just so honored to be a part of that. Uh, BGA to help grow my career.
Okay,
So yeah,
okay. Right. So you've been playing drums, and how? When did you get started? You said since you was 3 years
at the
old,
age of 3. Yeah, at the age of 3.
age of
Yes,
3.
yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Right. So you've been playing drums.
hmm
Mom bought you a drum set, and yes, you've been playing ever since.
Yes, I have.
Okay,
Yes,
great. And I also seen some video of you online with you playing with a band, right?
yes.
So tell us about that.
So yeah, I played at Harlem Blues, which is an amazing venue. It's a black-owned restaurant, and I'm just so honored for them for allowing me to play on their platform to build my career amongst other different nationalities. So I was honored for that, and yeah,
Okay,
it was an amazing time.
great.
Yeah,
And I also saw that you had a chance to meet a legendary
Sheila,
musician as well,
Sheila E. Yes, yes, yes,
Sheila
yes.
E. So tell us about that experience.
It was such an amazing experience. Like I was so in awe. Like I was speechless. I couldn't even talk. When I saw her, I was like, "This is the legend Sheila E." I was so in shock because I love some Sheila E. And it was such an amazing experience. I was just so in awe by her presence, and just to see her play drums like that with her passion, it was crazy. So yeah,
Wow. Did you get a chance to have a conversation?
yeah. But it was really small talk because she was signing other people's papers and CDs and stuff. But yeah,
Okay,
I let her talk.
great.
Yeah,
Wow. Like I said,
yeah.
you're doing a lot of great things. So, who would you
Thank you.
say is your biggest inspiration for all that you do?
My mother pushes me beyond my limits. Yes, my mother and my grandmother and my family. They always make sure I'm on top of my game. I'm doing everything the correct and proper way. And so I thank them so much because without them, I wouldn't be, and God, I wouldn't be who I am today. And so, yes, I thank them. They inspired me the most.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
I know your mom stay on you, and your grandmother, as you
Yes,
mentioned. You
yes,
know,
yes, yes.
yes. So, where do you see yourself? I guess in the next 5 to 10 years, business wise.
That's a good question. I see myself 5 or 10 years, maybe being like a huge business owner, and like not just for business purposes, but to grow the community and just seeing a change in our communities. I really seeing us like I've really seen a business changing the narrative of how society paints us or look at us. So I really see that in 5 to 10 years. Like our world will be changed to something that's huge and better and not so negative and derogatory. So yeah.
Right. So just to get it from like a teen's perspective, how do
Yeah.
you think the world views us
What do
as a
you
collective?
what do you mean? Say it again. How do you
Like
think it was?
as you know, as like African Americans,
Yeah.
Black people, how do you feel that the world perceives us?
The world perceives sometimes, and it depends. Many times we are always counted out, or we're the so-called the minority, but in reality we are the majority. And so they perceive us as we're always maybe less than, or like due to slavery and stuff like that from the past. They look at us as the scum of the earth, for real, for real. But it's how you perceive and meet those people that will change your mindset on how they really look at you. Because everybody don't think that about us. It's just the people that still have that old way of thinking of how life
Right.
should be or how life can be. And so, I don't really get caught up in those boxes and how people should think we should be. I'm who God called me to be. And so I try to put that in other teens and adults. So yeah.
Okay. Okay. And what
Yeah.
things can be done to help change that narrative?
Us coming together and being a unity, not us
Mhm.
always bickering or competing or always saying, well, I'm better than you or you better than me. No, let's come together and build that business or bridge that gap. Like just coming together and just being a unity, I would say, a unison.
Yeah. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. That makes sense. Now I
Yeah.
know recently we had the incident of what took place in Montgomery, Alabama,
Yes, that
right?
brawl.
The brawl that took place, and
Yeah.
a lot of people look at it. You see all the memes and the jokes that are being passed back and forth on social media.
Yeah.
Um, but what serious lessons can be taken away from that incident? Do you think?
Besides the fighting, I would say the act of us coming together, us being one, it really showed out in that brawl because it shows that if we can apply that negative energy to something positive by building businesses, do you know how powerful we could possibly be if we all came together like that? This world would be a whole different place. And that's why um the people and those authorities, they fear us being one, because if we come together we will make so much stuff greater and better than what it can be now. So they fear that. And so like once we like find that uh once we find that realization that us as a whole coming together and us being one, how powerful we can be, the world will change immensely just by
Wow,
that. So
wow, wow!
yeah.
That's a thing that is so true. That is so
Yes.
true. All right, great. So for people that want to get more information about the work that you do and they want to follow you
Yeah.
online, where can they find you?
Follow me on all social media platforms at I am Kenya Sarai. KENYASARAI. And for the business side, Sarai Works LLC, SARAI Works LLC. And yeah.
Okay, great, great, great. So before we wrap up, are there any thoughts that you want to share? Any closing ideas?
Uh I would just say if you're an aspiring maybe speaker or business owner, I would say always believe in yourself and don't ever let your friends or your loved ones or anybody in your life stop you from being who God has called you to be or your God-given talent or purpose. Be you, love you, and do it for you and for the community and generation that's coming after you. And yeah,
Great, great, great.
yeah.
And one last thing before we roll out, plug the event one more time. That's taking place on not
Yes,
February, August 19th. Let's talk
yes.
about it.
Prep for Success Radio One Give Back is happening August 19th at the Trinity Family Life Center. And we can't wait to see you.
Right. And what's the
Come out.
time?
The times I'm a little iffy with that. I don't know. Maybe from I don't know yet.
Not sure
Maybe
of the
like
time.
9 8, not sure the time.
All right. So what y'all need to do is go to Instagram, go to TikTok, follow Kenya Saray. She's gonna post the information on
Yes,
her
I will.
page. Right.
Hmm.
So August 19th, Trinity Family Life Center here in Richmond, Virginia. It's on
Yes.
Dill Road, I believe.
Yes.
Right.
Hmm.
I don't remember the exact address, but come out. Back to school event. You're going to have some
Yes.
phenomenal speakers. I'm trying
Yes.
to tell you, these are some the future leaders, right, in Richmond and throughout the nation and throughout the globe are going to take the stage. You want to be the ones to bear witness to them first here before they get too big and they become unreachable. But I'm telling you,
Never. Not unreachable.
but
Always
yeah.
reachable.
Yeah, but definitely come out and support the event. It's a back to school event. They'll be giving some book bags and some other school supplies away to the kids. So definitely come out. And again, follow Miss Kenya Sarai online, Sarai Works LLC. Go to the page, learn more about what she's doing, follow her. Have your children follow her, get the inspiration. Because it's all about getting the kids to the next level. So thank you, Kenya, for
Thank you
taking
for
the time
having me.
today, to come on the podcast. And we're going to see you all next week.
Yep.
Peace.
See you. All right.
Generational wealth.